9:16 is your time right now. If you don't like going to the doctor, well, guess what? You're not alone. But we all know it's a necessity to live a healthy life. So how can you change your relationship with your doctor and make it stronger? That is why this morning we're joined by Dr. Ken Redcross, who is the author of a brand new book, Bond, the 4 Cornerstones of Lasting and Caring Relationships with Your Doctor. Thank you for being here this morning again.
Thank you for having me, Tess.
You know, we talk about that bond, and it feels like as time goes on, my mom is always saying, you don't have a primary care. And I'm like, I know, I've jumped around and I haven't really found that perfect fit. Is that part of the problem?
You know, it is, and it's so challenging because right now I think healthcare is in a little bit of a crisis, right? And the patient-doctor bond is definitely on faulty ground. Now, this has been like a labor of love over the past 10 years or so, and finally get this out of my soul because I think patients shouldn't have to say what you say, that right now you don't have a primary care doctor or you can't find that fit. The studies already show that when you have that bond with your physician, your healthcare outcomes improve drastically.
Now, why is it so important to have that relationship with a particular doctor? Well, I mean, if someone says, I'm going anyways, I'm getting my flu shot, I don't need to have that one-on-one with a doctor. Well,
you know, there are some important things that I really recognize over the course of my career of almost 20 years now. There were 4 cornerstones that I found were very important. Number 1, trust. The second one was respect. The third was empathy. And the fourth one was very important, and that was communication. And all 4 of those were so important to build that bond because if any one of them were missing, something fell apart.
And what fell apart if it was missing? You don't have that trust. You can't even move on past that.
No, you really can't. And when you talk about trust, you need to make sure that you're feeling that your doctor obviously has your best interest there. And you have to also let go a little bit as well because there's a lot of information that we need to trust is coming from you. For instance, are you smoking? Have you really been
being honest with your doctor?
Being very honest, very important. And then the respect comes in, right? Because you need to make sure that you're respecting the patient and also respect the doctor's time also. Now, the thing that's interesting here when you talk about respect, I always think about this. The minute that that person looks in that book and sees your name, or the minute that they pay that copay, that's a bond. This is when it starts, and this is when I think the expectation should also start because I want to make sure that as patients leave the room after we've had our visit, that they're floating on air, that they're in a patient nirvana because it was such a good interaction.
And I think that's part of the problem. A lot of people maybe don't have the best experience always, and you hear that. It's also word of mouth. How do you go about finding the doctor that's right for you? What should you be looking for and what you should look at?
Well, the first thing I want you to consider is actually make a list of things that are important to you. I have some people who are like my millennials. And for them, some of the time is not as important. And then I have my patients who are a little bit older or seniors. I always call them those who have seen years. And for those that have, they want more time. So write down some of those things that are important to you. The other thing that I find very valuable, before you see your doctor, make sure you have a plan. What do you want to have accomplished when you leave that visit so you don't leave feeling like, gosh, I only had 7.5 minutes, which is the average, unfortunately, with my doctor.
That's it?
And it's not good.
It's not
and so
enough,
you need to make sure that you feel okay, letting that doctor know, hey, look, I need a little bit more of your time. Can we maybe take 2 slots of your day?
All right. It's sort of like shopping for something that's going to be with you for a long time. You got to do your research, too.
It is. And the whole point is that you want to make sure you get to that relationship with your doctor. It feels like he's a member, he or she is a member of your family. So just make sure that you're proactive and know that all of this is based in love because no matter what, guess what? We're all going to be patients at some point or another.
Can you be my Dr. Redcross? Can you just move from New York? Because I love our conversations, and you're a wealth of information. So check it out, Bond, the 4 Cornerstones of a Lasting and Caring Relationship with Your Doctor, his new book that's just out. Thank you for coming into the studio. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and good luck, everyone.
Stay with us, folks. Still ahead here on Good Morning Arizona. May not know this, but it's Hug Your Sweetheart Day. We'll talk about that coming up.
All right, I love that.